I do apologise for the intro screen being the wrong one there. We will get that sorted, but we are here for the Roulette League here for the Type2 Roulette for the first season of competition. Round number 4 of the season here, and we have got our wheels ready to be spun for this one. Where are we going to be racing today? We have had a great host of tracks so far, a great combination, of course, very rookie felt last time out, of course, as we saw the Mazdas, we saw the GR86s. What are we going to see out here today, and where are we going to be racing? That is the question right about now. The first thing that we do is spin our track wheels. We find out where exactly we are going to be racing so that we can find out what car we will then be taking around in there. And of course, if you're watching over on the Twitch page, then I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. We are going to spin around this track wheel then so we can find out where we are going to be going for the first race of round number 4 here. It is getting spun over there. Let's find out what track we are going to be heading down to for this one. It could be Okayama, Alton Park maybe, even Oxford Plains Speedway seems to be the one that comes up on the board in that one, so we shall have to see and find out which one it is going to be as we prepare ourselves for this one. I just need, I'll hear that confirmation in the background as to whether we can run the amount of cars on Oxford Plains, because I know it's one of those tracks that it is possible, and I know I've got Barry and Adam in the voice chat with me who are going to confirm for me.
Yep, 45 on that one, so should be good.
Perfect, excellent, which means we are going to spin our wheel of cars at Oxford Plains Speedway. Are we going for the dirt cars or the non-dirt cars?
Let's go for non-dirt, because I think Oxford Plains is... Yeah, I think it is actually... Yeah, concrete, I believe.
Okay, perfect. We will get that non-dirt wheel then up, and we will find out here what is going to be raced around this wonderful circuit of Oxford Plains Speedway. It's spinning. Where's it going to slow down to? It could be the IndyCar maybe. The BMW M2's coming up. It could be, or the NASCAR. It's going to be the BMW M2, as we are going to be taking the BMW M2 CS Racing Machine around Oxford Plains Speedway for this one. I'll wait in our ears. You'll hear the confirmation that we are good to go on this combination. And once we are, we will take a step away and prepare ourselves for the first race of the day.
Yeah, all good.
All good then. We will be back in just a few moments' time here as we get this one up and running. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just about 5 minutes' time. everybody, and welcome back here for the Type2 Roulette League. We are here for round number 4 of the season, as only 2 more weeks remain. That is it as we head out today, and then finally we go out on March 15th for the 5th and final round of the championship. So mark the date for your diaries, because it is going to be one to watch. It certainly is going to be one to watch in our championship fight as well, because right now it is Jamie Dorey at the top of our championship order with 88 points to his name. He is 16 points clear of our man in second, William Guthrie. Jack Pittas is in third place right now, ahead of Jonathan Berry, and Ben Oucher rounds out your top 5 in your championship heading into this one. Adam Wilson-Weir is not too far behind Oucher there. He sits in 6th place right now, ahead of Ruben Goodchild. Michael Lee sits in 8th, and Charlie Jobson-Wood is taking in that 9th position, tied on points with Joshua Downing inside your top 10 at the moment. We then look a little bit further back, and it's George Stone in 11th, ahead of Alexander Last. Sammy Uribe is in 13th position with Andre Wedderburn in 14th. Andrew Allen sits in 15th position. Jadon Fung in 16th, ahead of Michael Evangeli. Lewis Mason is in 18th position in the championship right now, ahead of Henry Martel and Robert Savage. 21st position is Mark Sykes. He is the final man in the championship with points to his name, and as you can see, a lot of drivers have tried to find them out there, as we've got Harry Gaylor and Lillian Sinclair without points in today's session, looking to do something in this one. Lillian stepping in for the first time this season to try and get some points on the board there, so it's going to be interesting to see what our drivers are able to do with this one, as they will be heading out and looking for a potential race victory, I'm sure, for each of them, as so far Jack Pittas is the only man who has been able to take 2 race victories over the course of the season. He's also the only man to have taken 2 pole positions. He's also the only man to have converted a pole position into a race victory. Who is going to find their way to the front? At the moment, right now in this session of qualifying that is heading around at the moment, it is looking like it is going to be Jack Pittas who is going to be running around in pole position. You can see each of the drivers there. 17.133 for Pittas at the front. Dorey is the man in second in this championship order at the moment, looking to potentially try and do something just to support his points. But as I say that, Berry and Wilson-Weir go through, looking to try and take that pole position. Wilson-Weir obviously got pole in the Toyota GR86 as the last time out at Oschersleben. It was Jack Pittas who got the pole in the Mazdas around Oran Park, which he was able to turn into pole position. Drivers for getting even closer at the very front of the field here. Not long left in this qualifying session right now. In fact, that is Adam Wilson-Weir just trying to find a little bit of clear space out there, and a big old hit to the front of his car, but of course no damage in this session, which means that'll get itself repaired. He'll be able to get straight back running again and seeing if he can find his way past drivers ahead. Right now the top 4 drivers all within 1/10 of a second. Wilson-Weir stuck in finding a way through in the number 22 machine as he comes through what is a very small circuit. Of course, it is going to be interesting to see what our drivers are able to do around this oval, because it is going to be one that is going to be hurting a lot of their arms, I think, because it is almost essentially a circle. You are straight on your wheels for just a little bit here, but if you push all the way up to the edges, you're not on you're not off the wheel really turning very much. Even there along, you're just constantly running along the car. In fact, we will have with 1 minute on the board, go right on board with our championship leader of Jamie Dorey. He will show you with his wheel how you are pretty much constantly turning. He straightens up his wheel for just a second there before we're back into the curves again. Straighten it up a little bit longer on this back straight to go straight, but you want to get yourself turned in for the next turn, and He's having a little bit of a fight going on in qualifying here, but as you can see with Jamie Dory, you do have to turn left pretty much consistently across the race session here, as it is going to be what feels like a pretty long one for our drivers out there, looking to try and get some points onto the board, of course, with 30 seconds left to go in this qualifying session. We are looking forward to this one. If you haven't done so already and you're watching this live, make sure that you are hitting that follow button on the Joseph White TV Twitch page. You'll be notified when we go live. This is the final race of our super weekend. If you missed all of the other broadcasts, where have you been? You should hit that follow button so you're notified when we do go live. It was the first super weekend of the season, where we got 6 broadcasts out to you within the course of 3 days. We are going to see an even bigger super weekend coming up in just a few weeks' time as well. So make sure that you are hitting that follow button. It looks like Pittas, though, is going to find pole position for a 3rd time this season, and he finds it here around around the oval track this time. With being in these BMWs. Sure, the last 3 races have been very, well, of course, the 3 cars, rookie cars, but they have been very rookie cars out there at the moment. Of course, we had the Mazdas at the first race last time out on Park. We got the Toyota GR86s last time out at Oschersleben, and now we have the BMWs out here. So it is very much feeling like a rookie set of races, but we shall see if we get other cars back again. We've obviously had the Pontiac Solstices out there. We've had the Cadillac CTS-Vs, the Spec Racer Fords. We've had a few different ones out there. So Jack Pittas, still the only man to have taken more than 1 pole position so far this season. He has now taken 3 pole positions. How are we going to go on this one, as we've got Michael Leese and, as we have got Adam Wilson-Weir and Jack Pittas at the front there with almost identical liveries, not quite identical liveries, so a little bit of a difference on the top of their car there. But we get going on the formation laps here as we try to find out if our drivers are able to get through and around without too many issues. This is going to be a circuit I think a lot of drivers are going to be sticking their nose in. Of course, 10 minutes of racing around here, 35 laps of asking. Because it is the oval, we are going for the shorter race time in this one, with being in fact limited by just 35 laps. It's going to be a lot easier than having to do 20 minutes of racing. We had in the pre-season oval race when we went for 20 minutes, and it was a bit too long. So we've learned from those sessions, is why we have them. And we get going here then, as our drivers prepare to go racing in the first race of the evening here at round number 4. We will be pulling drivers in throughout the evening as well to see how they go, but we are away, and straight away there is a turn up towards turn number 1. Cars going around, as it looked like almost a driver went straight for the spin there, as more drivers go around here. A lot of space on the outside, no outside wall here, so if you do find yourself off, you've got enough time to pull yourself back on here, as Lillian Sinclair is up 9 positions in the opening stages of this one, with all of the cars that have spinning. But Jack Pittas is the man staying out at the very front of this one, ahead of William Guthrie. Jamie Dory sits in 3rd position right now. Ruben Goodchild could have the opportunity to get past Jaden Fung. Of course, a circuit like this is very much short track racing. There is going to be bumping and banging as you try to make your way through. Not oval cars, of course, though, so cars that are a little bit slow on the uptake as well. They're not the best getting out of corners. Fortunately, you don't really get out of a corner here. You're constantly cornering. But as we get this race underway, 36 laps it looks like expected now in this 10-minute race. John Berry chasing down Adam Wilson, where he sits in 11th position. Not going to really help out his championship standings at the moment. We ride on board with Goodchild chasing down Ben Oucher for a potential 5th position at the moment, but it is Pittas leading the overall way at the moment ahead of William Guthrie. Guthrie has got Jamie Dury chasing behind, and then have got the 36 machine of Charlie Jobson-Wood between them. Of course, the racing numbers are the ones that you need to know here, because if you know the racing numbers, you have a high likelihood of knowing who everyone is out there, because the liveries will change every time they jump into a new car. And we've got a car stuck up on the barrier there, and Jack Pittas has gone off. Pittas has gone off. What has happened to Pittas here? It was contact with a car coming back on. It was a contact with somebody coming back on there. I'm not sure who it was, because they didn't have a livery or a racing number. But the contact means that William Guthrie is now leading the way, and Jack Pittas is down to 8th position. Jamie Dury here trying to fight around the for positions, gets knocked by a back marker. 7.5 minutes left in this one. Trying to figure out what on earth is going on in this race. Jack Pittas here looking to try and get back up the order behind Joshua Downing. Looks towards the inside here, out of the final turn. Will hold that inside line, and Jack Pittas right now has the position, but he's got to try and keep it, and he does. And it will be Jack Pittas past Joshua Downing there, just behind. Adam Wilson-Weir is trying to hold on to John Berry, but Berry has got the inside line here and will have to hold on behind at the moment. William Guthrie out at the front of this one. Adam Wilson-Weir gets up the inside of John Berry at the moment. Adam, you're fighting with John there. You're doing well at the moment, but you're down in 10th position. You can't quite make that move. How's it going?
It's tough. My arms are sore.
I was going to say, oval races, it's ones that we've seen in the past where it does make your arms a little bit sore in this one. About 35 laps of asking, how's the BMW feel on the oval?
It's okay from the initial entry to the corner, but it's the exits that can get a bit tail happy, so I'm just trying to modulate the throttle as best as I can.
Wow!
Oh, never mind.
No, that will happen instead. You'll get taken out by Ben Oucher, and we'll need to get back on. I'll leave you be, Adam, as you try to recover from that one.
Yep, well, it's going to be a lot.
Adam Wilson, we're there. He went down the order in that, but whilst we were watching, it was out of the lead for Ben Oucher, who spun out of the lead, but it was also out of the lead for William Guthrie. Guthrie holds on to third, though, but it does mean that Jaden Fung is in with the hunt for the first ever race win here. And then we will pull in Lillian here, who is running around in 6th position in the first event of the season. How's it going out there for you, Lillian?
Pretty intense. There seems to be cars left and right at the moment, but yeah, it's been good fun.
Well, you're doing a great job at the moment to get up into 6th position, up 10 positions from qualifying, trying to avoid the accidents. Do you think you can get back past Jack, maybe get into the top 5?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, Jack is really fast at the moment, so I'm just trying to keep a consistent line at the moment and hopefully hit the skyrocket a bit higher off the grid.
Well, good luck for the rest of it, Lillian. I'm sure we'll pull you in race number 2 as well.
Thank you.
Lillian there, Sinclair running around in 6th position right now, trying to keep Joshua Downing and John Berry at bay. Berry runs to the outside of Downing here, could do something, but William Guthrie goes to the inside of Ruben Goodchild. There's contact, and Guthrie goes sideways with Jamie Dury now to the inside. Dury trying to get up the inside of William Guthrie for 3rd position. He will make it stick, and Jamie Dury moves into 3rd, could move into 2nd past Ruben Goodchild as well. He's going to try and keep it on that inside line, but it is Jack Pittas back up here into 3rd position to the inside of Goodchild. And after Pittas got spun by a back marker, he finds himself back into an opportunity here as there was contact behind there. William Guthrie and Ruben Goodchild off, and Sinclair, who we were just talking to, gets promoted to 6th position. Contact behind there, as I think it was a back marker spinning around. Goodchild still trying to find their way back onto the racetrack here with 3.5 minutes left to go in this race. Adam Wilson-Weir is back up to 7th after we spoke to him, where he was hit by Ben Oucher and there was contact. Joshua Downing finds himself around. That's who we saw spinning in the first place. He spun for a second time here as the field behind continues chasing down. John Berry now looking to try and get past Lillian Sinclair around the outside line as they come up towards the final turn. In this one, a few names we haven't mentioned. We've got Lewis Mason, who's moved his way up to 8th position. Big Rex going on in front of him, and it will move him up into 6th position. It was Adam Wilson-Weir and William Guthrie down the order there. Berry still on the outside line of Lillian Sinclair here as we come through the back end of the course and up towards what will be the 24th lap of asking for these drivers. Berry holds that position on Sinclair in the end in the fight for 4th and 5th position, but Lewis Mason, as I said, we hadn't mentioned him much before, but he does find his way 5 positions up into 6th place in this race. Jaden Fung, though, is the man who's found himself up most of the order here. He started in 9th. He is currently leading the way by about 1 second with 2 minutes left on the board. This will be the longest 2 minutes of his life. Adam Wilson-Weir returns to 7th position, but is not in the clear as he got a lot of drivers around, including those back markers who are having trying to get used to these guys. Dakota Martin, one of those. Mark Sykes out of the race early doors, unfortunately for him, as it is going to be a bit of a wobble there for Harry Gaylor on the rear end of the pink car. I'm not sure who that is, but it's a big old drift there and a huge save, but then there's more contact. Harry Gaylor turns into the Barney machine, and I believe that may have been Lewis Mason. It was up inside 6th position, intentionally put down into the wall there, down into 10th position now, and we'll have to do something with that. Pittas has made his way back up into 2nd now. After falling down the order, could Jack Pittas return to the race lead here? He's all over the rear of Jaden Fung. Fung goes to the inside of Dakota Martin here. There's contact. Pittas has to avoid it. He does. And the car goes flying into the air in the background there. Jack Pittas chasing down Jaden Fung for the race victory. 1 minute left on the board. It'll be about 4 laps of asking. Pittas slams into the rear end of a back marker there. And Jamie Dorey will make his way through for 2nd, which means Fung has just been gifted a 1 second advantage to the cars behind. And Pittas is holding on to Dorey at the moment. 40 seconds to go. Jamie, you're trying to fight with Jack here for 2nd. It's opened up for you. Do you think you can get it?
I don't know, mate. Depends if I get wiped out by the car behind. It's crazy.
It is extremely close to John Berry coming up your inside now as well. You've got about 1 more lap to go after this one. It's been a hard fight. A podium's almost there for you. Talk us through your last lap.
It's just hope and try and get the run off the corners. He's going to run me wide here. I've put the traction control on, so I don't know if that's going to help. It's going to be all about the exit here. If I can bump and run him. There's a little tap. No, he got it.
4th position there for you, Jamie. Not quite a podium, but good points for your championship.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Jamie Dorey there going home in 4th position on the line, but it was race victory for the first time for Jaden Fung, who just benefited from everyone in front of him having issues. Started the race in 9th place. Jaden Fung comes home to win race number 1 of the day. And with that being said, let's have a look at our results from the race here. Jaden Fung took home race victory out of that one. Jack Pittas in 2nd. Jonathan Berry came home in 3rd position ahead of Jamie Dorey. Lillian Sinclair in 4th. Lillian Sinclair in 5th ahead of Adam Wilson-Weir. Great job for Sinclair, by the way, first time racing this season. Ben Oucher came home in 7th ahead of Ruben Goodchild, a lap down. Lewis Mason and Joshua Downing rounded out your top 10. Michael Lees then came home in 11th position, but ahead of Charlie Jobson Wood. William Guthrie coming home in 13th. 4 laps down was Harry Gaylor. Dakota Martin 10 laps down, and Mark Sykes out early doors in that one. It obviously has championship implications. We'll have a look at the championship standings out of the first race of the day. Jamie Dorey will have a 20 point advantage over Jack Pittas in the standings. Pittas with 6 points over Jonathan Berry. These standings, of course, all provisional for our standings on our live screens. But that is going to be the first race of the day here, and what an event it was. It's always is fun having the ovals, that is for sure. We will get going for race number 2 in just a moment's time then. So as everyone takes their just a moment to come across to have a look at the roulette wheel, we will get ourselves up and ready on there. Where is that button for it? Let's get ourselves sorted as we have a little look through and get our wheels up for this one. Right then, we have got another race coming your way now. Let's find out what track we are going to be at for the second race of the day. We had an oval for the first one. Where will it be? Those races, but those were already removed, don't you worry. And it will be Langley Speedway. What is it with ovals popping up now in this one? If I'm not mistaken, Langley Speedway being another oval race, an oval racetrack. So it's hopefully, I don't know Langley actually. Langley is one of those tracks I've never gone to myself. So we have got Langley Speedway on the board for race number 2, which means we are going to spin the same wheel again. I do believe Langley is is Langley a dirt actually? Will be the question. I know that I need to ask. Berry will let me know, I know, in just a moment's time in the voice chat as I try to just play for time. Good for asphalt. Excellent, excellent. So we will go with our non-dirt cars, our road cars indeed. So let's spin that wheel and find out what cars we are going to be taking around Langley here as we go for the Dallara, maybe the NASCAR, maybe the Cadillacs again. No, it's the NASCARs, the NASCAR trucks, the Chevrolet Silverado in particular for this one. Langley Speedway in the NASCAR trucks will be the second race of the day. So make sure you stick around for this one. We will go for about a 5-minute break here as I've got the perfect going in from the chat, which means that I am happy to step away and go and grab myself another drink for the next one, as you should do too, because race number 2 is coming your way in about 5 minutes time, so do not go anywhere. here. We apologise for the slightly longer delay as we set up the servers there, but we are ready to go racing as we take the Chevrolet Silverado trucks out onto our second oval of the day. And more cars, the cars though, you know, around an oval, they're one thing. Trucks, definitely another, especially the legacy trucks as well, the ones that not a lot of cars are used to here at Langley Speedway. The rear ends really stepping out. I'm seeing a lot of people losing it, mostly out of turn at number 1, that's the first turn, but we are seeing a few cars go, well, the trucks go around, I should say, through some of the opening points around this lap, as well as practice coming to a close here. And I am looking forward to this one, certainly, as we step into the commentary booth once again here. I hope you guys are ready for the second race of the day. The first race of the day did help Jamie Joy just a little bit in the championship. He still has a strong lead at the top of that one. There's still that chasing pack coming in behind, though, and he has one more week to try and hold it. This second race of the day is going to mean a lot to him, because if he falls out of some good points scoring positions, we could see drivers such as Jack Pitters find his way up towards the very front of the order here. So who is going to come out on top in a qualifying session? We're going to find out. 5 minutes our drivers are going to have to head around this lap and try to place in the best lap time that they can potentially do here. Of course, an open qualifying session in these qualifying sessions means that the drivers not only have to compete with the car, which they are struggling to get to grips with, some of them, they're also having to then compete with other drivers out there as well, in a full field of drivers around a circuit like this. In a qualifying session when trying to get your lap times in, we can already see a huge wreck going on along the front straight there, which means drivers are really struggling to get in some lap times. In fact, Adam Wilson, we're the first on the board, only one of 2 drivers so far to place in times on the board at the moment, of course trying to get those valid laps ready. Right then, let's turn our focus across to this qualifying session and see what our drivers are able to do, and it is the man of Jack Pittas, who is the fastest once more out there, but will he be able to turn this one into that pole position and potentially a 4th pole position of the season? He is running alongside other drivers at the moment, so extending on his current lap time isn't going to be possible. Is anyone else going to knock him off? Ben Outry has at the moment, which is good news for a lot of drivers who won't want to see Pittas back at the front. A lot of cars out there with some black flags, though, which means that they won't be getting in any valid lap times at the moment. That goes the way of Michael Lees, Lillian Sinclair and Dakota Martin, although Sinclair has just, did get the back flag cleared and then immediately got a black flag. Again, the exit's a bit late here, seeming to catch a few of our drivers out as they head around for the final 2.5 minutes of this qualifying session. All drivers getting those black flags here as we watch Lewis Mason in the 991 machine, the rear end of the truck stepping out of him, and he'll find his way to the infield. I think we'll be seeing a number of cars go that way. Unlike the Oxford Plains Speedway where we were before, of course, we now have a wall on the outside, which means cars, the trucks aren't going to be able to find themselves spinning out of bounds, but they can find themselves spinning onto the infield, which could be highly likely, as we are seeing the 28 machine of Jack Pittas there struggling through turn number 1, and at the moment Ben Ouch is the fastest out there, but Charlie Jobson-Wood is up there and putting in a surprise performance right now off the back of his race victory in race number 1. Jaden Fun could be looking for the double here. Pittas is the only driver to have won 2 races so far this season. Anyone else on the board has only done it once so far, but he's looking for a little bit of time, space out there as Goodchild goes around at turn number 1. Jamie Joy, championship leader, he's sitting in 8th position right now in this qualifying session. We're waiting to see lap times from Downing, Sinclair and Martin as the 890 has come down pit lane here to try, well, I would say to try and clear the black flag, but that's certainly not the way to clear a black flag. Lillian Sinclair out there looking to get a time on the board. Joshua Downing finally gets on the time on the board there in the final couple of minutes of qualifying. Can Sinclair do the same? Yes, he can. He goes into 10th position right now, but a big old collection of cars in front of him are going to be slowing him down. Led by William Guthrie in the 46, who finds himself sideways in the Rainbow Kitten machine, and he does get the power down. It is a lot of drifting in these trucks, it turns out, as drivers try to find stylish ways around the course, and that's the 28 of Jack Pittas finding himself facing the wrong way as well, and then collected in that one by, I believe that was John Berry getting collected in that one. Berry, no, he was just finding himself off track elsewhere around the lap. John Berry not getting a great lap time on the board at the moment. Downing, the slowest of those with times on the board. Dakota Martin, no time on the board for him, but you can see it is so busy out there. Lots of cars getting themselves into incidents here in the qualifying session, but we are getting to the end of qualifying now, which means we are preparing ourselves for race number 2 as Guthrie loses the rear end there, goes for a donut. Jamie Dory looking to try and improve on his time. He's 8th position right now as he crosses the line. He does find time, but it will not be enough to move up a position. The checkered flags out, drivers will have just enough time here to finish their current qualifying laps, and Jamie Dory will be hoping in his Mr. Plough machine he can improve on that 8th position start. He crosses the line. It will not be an improvement for the championship leader coming into this one. Ben Oucher instead will be the man to get pole position. He last took pole at Phoenix in the Formula Vs. It didn't go well for him there because he ended up getting damage in that race that had no damage. I don't know what happened there. But that was the last time Ben Oucher was able to start on pole position. Starting on pole position here though in the 504 machine alongside Charlie Jobson-Wood, who's not had a strong result so far this season. Could this be that one? Jaden Fung will start in 3rd position, and I think that is important to just keep an eye on as well. The fact that Jaden Fung is starting in 3rd, because Fung was the driver who was able to take race victory in race number 1 of the day. First one of the season, did it at the oval, the short oval, just like we've got now. Of course, we've raced at an oval before. We took the Pontiac Solstices to Phoenix. We did that oval, 1.5 mile oval, and it was fun. This is a short oval here, which means we are going to be seeing a lot of short track racing once again. Bumping, banging, and these rear ends of the cars do step out a lot more than the BMWs were in the last one, which means I think we're going to see a lot more self-spins in this one, a little bit more carnage. 10 minutes on the board for this one once again. Actually, no, not 10 minutes. Not this one, not by time. This one by laps. 30 laps on the board for this one. As we get started on the formation lap, as that was Oucher looking to get right up alongside the safety car on this formation lap. We'll see another 2 laps of formation for our drivers before we go green in this one. Lots of advertisements on the outside there. We need to find a space in which we can get the Joseph Wright Broadcasting logo up there, the Type2 Racing logo up there, of course. We can I'm sure we can find a way to convince iRacing, surely. Right then, we come up and around the final turn, and we prepare ourselves for racing. Action issues on the formation lap at the back of this field as cars will need to get themselves turned around for the start. They're going to need to do that quickly, of course, to get themselves back up towards the front. Otherwise, we are going to see a number of penalties for drivers that are around towards the back. Dakota Martin's down there. Lewis Mason's ahead at the moment. Who is behind? Michael Leeson. He's found his way to the front. Right then. The lights are on the pace car. Did we get a delayed start here because of those spins? Yes. We get a delayed start here because of the spins that happened last lap, which means we will go an extra lap of formation here as drivers just get themselves back into position behind. We prepare to go green flag racing around our second oval of the day. It is Ben Oucher who finds his way on pole position. Wanting to re-roll the track, didn't want another oval. Well, this could be the race for Oucher to take victory. Second pole of the season. Can he convert that into race victory here? We get going up towards turn number 1, and that is a bit of a slide on the launch for Oucher, and immediately Jobson Wood takes the lead in this race. Jack Pittas looking to try and make the move on the outside of turn number 1. Doesn't quite make that work at the moment. Pittas has to drop in behind, has William Guthrie, or looking towards the inside now on the exit of the final turn, up towards turn number 1. 30 laps on the board for this one. We see Ruben Goodchild, Lillian Sinclair, Dakota Martin, all of them having issues on the opening lap of Askin. Ruben Goodchild here looking to try and go around the outside of Lillian Sinclair. Sinclair will hold it in the number 93 machine, however. We come through the back end of the course here, the number 22 machine chasing down William Guthrie. Guthrie still chasing down Jack Pittas there as Goodchild is once again looking to get past Sinclair, this time to the inside, pushed out wide. Lillian Sinclair loses that position as Guthrie gets past Pittas. Pittas falling down the order. In fact, it looks like Pittas has had some sort of issue on the previous lap of Asking as he looks towards the inside there. This is what has happened to Jack Pittas. Is it contact with Guthrie? It is a bit of a nudge there with Guthrie, and Guthrie made that move with the contact. Pittas now looks to the inside of Jaden Fung. It's side by side between Jamie Dory and Anders Wilson. Weir Dory moves up the position as Guthrie finds himself into second position. Now we'll pull the race leader into this one. Ben, you didn't get the best of launches from pole position, but you find yourself about a second clear right now. How is it going for you out there?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It's a lot of turning left that we've been doing this evening, so I think I'm pretty on form now. Yeah, just gotta keep out the wall and keep the rear under control.
Indeed, these cars are a little bit, well, these trucks are a little bit tricky, the rear end stepping out. There's fights going on behind you at the moment. Are you concerned when you get caught up with the back markers, how it's going to go, making your way through the field?
Nah, it should be okay. I think I'm usually pretty good at getting by back markers. I just tend to make myself known and, well, like that, I guess. I'll make a mistake and I'll be able to get alongside.
Well, you get to the inside and clearing the back marker there, the 890 of Dakota Martin. We'll leave you to it, Ben, and wish you the best of luck to take the race victory.
Thank you.
Ben Oucher there in the lead of the race right now. We were seeing some fighting going on with John Berry, Jamie Dory. Harry Gaylor's just off the rear of this one as well as Dory touches the rear end of Berry there, goes wide and down as Adam Wilson-Weir found himself around. This is how that one occurred. He sends himself around in that fight that was going on. No one else caught up in that one. Michael Lees now looking to get up the inside of Jamie Dory, who's fallen down the order just a little bit. That was Dakota Martin on the infield of the circuit there. As Lees looks to the inside of Dory. It's a bit of a drift there, attack with the outside wall. But it will hold on there, and Michael Lees will hold on in 9th position as well. Pittas up in 4th position. We've not really been speaking to him today. He had a pole position in race number 1, but then he went around, and right now running in 4th position. How's it going for you, Jack?
I'm currently very sweaty.
I'd say the rear end of these cars do look like they're stepping out a lot, but you're up onto the podium now. Do you think you can hunt it down and potentially take that victory you missed out on in race 1?
To be honest, I'm not totally sure. Will and Ben are like both insanely quick drivers, so to be honest, I think it's just going to be luck of the draw.
Well then, we'll see who comes out in that luck then, who has the most of it tonight. They're wrecking behind you here, so you're getting a bit of a clear run. We'll lead you to it, Jack, and good luck trying to catch up to the leaders.
Right, thank you.
Jack Pittas there, running around 3rd position right now. We were seeing Jobson, Wood and Fung having a bit of a hoity-toity battle going on in the middle there, as we see Lees going sideways, collected by Sinclair. Sinclair setting Lees the right way, but then Lees says, no, I was spinning. I'm going to finish spinning. Thank you very much. And he gets himself facing the right way, hopefully not collected by any other drivers going through, as Goodchild overtakes Story there in 8th and 9th position. Halfway through this race then, as we go on to the 16th lap of Asking. Sinclair gets past Lewis Mason as Pittas gets past William Guthrie. Guthrie goes around, collected hard there. How did that one occur? It was all on his own from Guthrie as he run the high line with Pittas on the inside. It was Jaden Fung who slammed into him, and Guthrie still struggling to get that car going straight again, and has fallen all the way down to 13th position. We'll get that timing tower working now, hopefully. Been trying race long to get a timing tower up for you. It just does not want to appear. So I do apologise for that one. We are trying our best to do so. Ruben Goodchild here, a couple of tenths per second behind. Gayler, yes, I fixed it, finally. Order on the left-hand side as the pace car will come out as we say it there. And all our drivers will come back at it here to go for a final lap battle. That's not what Oucher would want. It's exactly what Jackers want. And we'll pull Ben back in just quickly here. And Ben, that's probably not what you wanted to see with 10 to go as we come under the full cast yellow.
Yeah, no, I was not happy when that was called. I heard it get called.
Well, you are going to be leading on the restart here. Your start at the beginning of the race obviously was a little bit wobbly. You've got Pittas behind you now. Do you still feel like you've got the opportunity to take the victory here?
I think so. I think I was relatively quick, so should be something I can work with, I think.
Well, good luck with it, Ben, and hopefully the restart will go your way.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
As we have a little bit of a look there, some of our drivers, they've been having a bit of a mixed bag, but somebody who's up there for one of the first times this season, Charlie, you are running around there in 3rd position right now, and the full course shallow has pulled you straight back in it. Do you think you've got an opportunity to take the victory here?
Well, I hope so. Let's just see how the restart goes, stay out of trouble, and hopefully move up a couple of places.
When I spoke to Jack earlier, he said it was about the luck of the draw in taking the victory here. Do you think it's luck? Do you think it's going to be based on moves made on the track?
A bit of both.
Well, good luck on the restart, Charlie, and hopefully we'll see you up on that podium at the end of this one.
Cheers, thanks.
Charlie Thompson-Wood there running around in 3rd position. The pace car's still on. If the lights stay on, we'll pull another driver down into pit lane, but the lights are off, so we will get under restart this time. We won't distract anyone on the restart, but drivers are getting themselves into their correct lines here, or at least what they think are their correct lines, as they sort themselves up around the end of this lap. And we will go back green with 7 laps to go in this race. Ben Oucher leading the way at the front, and it looks like it is single file restarts with the lap cars on the inside. I'm not too sure what we're going. Oh no, we are delaying the green. There you go, we're delaying the green as we are getting wave around for our drivers. We are delaying the green here, and we will go green this time round. So we'll be going with 6 laps to go, as the green was delayed there to get drivers back onto the lead lap of Asking, and get everyone sorted out for this one. Are we going single file or double file? Looks like double file. Ben Oucher will be on the inside on the restart once more. He was on the inside last time. He's in control of the restart though, and he is looking like he's going to go a little bit later here. We are green, black flag for a number of drivers there, and Oucher gets a horrendous launch, as that was Jobson Wood looking to get to the inside of Pittas, and Oucher goes around after leading most of this race. Pittas now in the lead with Goodchild in 2nd. Jobson Wood sitting in 3rd position, still losing out to Goodchild though. Jamie Dory looking to try and hold on the outside of Harry Gayler here. Gayla on that inside line looking for a top 5 result. 5 to go as they wait across the line. And it was a disastrous restart for Ben Ouchie. Finds himself all the way at the back of the field now, hoping that there's just a big wreck in front of him. Charlie Johnson-Wood moves into second position, but it's going to be 3 wide through turn number 1 with Johnson-Wood, Fung and Goodchild. But Fung is the driver to come out on top. And Jaden Fung is next in line. If Pittas goes wrong in the final few laps here, Fung could take the double. We go across the timing line there. Jaden Fung running around in second position. Lewis Mason gets his way past Charlie Johnson-Wood as well. There's contact, and we're going to see 3, 4, 5 cars involved in that one. But I said Ben Oucher needed to see something. That's what we saw. We're limited by time in the end. And Jack Pittas takes the win. We're at the end of that one. Fung coming home second. It is drivers just trying to get anything to the line. We'll rewatch the last lap here for Jamie Dory, Michael Lees in this fight, because they came across the line just 1300ths of a second between them as Lees straight to the inside of Dory. That was the spot across the line. Very, very close there. But we come to the end of the second race of Asking, and Pittas was the man to take yet another race victory. And we say that because for Jack Pittas, it is a 3rd win of the season after taking his 3rd pole at race number 1. Race number 2 was where he is going to get his 3rd pole. And with that being said, then let's have a look at our full race results here at the second race of the evening from Langley. Jack Pittas won in the end, added Jaden Fung. Ruben Goodchild coming home in 3rd. Lillian Sinclair has had a very good evening of racing, coming home in 4th position there. Michael Lees in 5th. 6th position for Jamie Dory. Joshua Downing in 7th out of Adam Wilson-Weir. Lewis Mason in 9th, and Harry Gayler coming home in 10th position. I'm looking there with one more. I'm going to say yes, indeed-o. With the way that we have got our races going today, I'm happy for one more. We have had a couple of short ones. Charlie Johnson-Wood coming home in 11th position ahead of Jonathan Berry. Ben Oucher coming home in 13th after leading most of that race. The safety car really not playing into Ben Oucher's hands. William Guthrie and Dakota Martin, both of those finishing 2 laps down in the end, which means the top 10 in your championship now stands with Jamie Dory just 10 points clear of Jack Pittas. Jonathan Berry moves up into 3rd in the championship ahead of William Guthrie, and Adam Wilson-Weir in 5th. Of course, these standings once again are going to be temporary, provisional, I should say, and therefore we should get them confirmed shortly. Now then, we are looking at one more race in this one then, with the fact that we've had 2 short ones. We will skip the ovals indeed if we end up rolling on one of them. So then, let's get ourselves across to our wonderful roulette wheel screen, and we will get those spun out, and we will prepare ourselves for a very special 3rd race of the evening that we don't normally do here. We will spin the wheel for a 3rd time today, though, as we find out where we are going to be here. And where is it going to come across? Could be... No, we will skip that if it ends up. Now, I'm going to have to wait on confirmation for this one, for this race, because I need to find out if we have enough spaces on there. Take off the CTS fee, indeed we will. As we just need to wait for confirmation here that we can do Daytona Rallycross and Dirt Road. Actually, we will be going across to the dirt cars if we can do this one for the final race of the day. We'll just be waiting to make sure that we can have the numbers on there that I'm seeing in the chat there. So we'll find out if we are going to be going to Daytona for race number 3 here at round number 4. Extra points are going to help Jack Pittas closing that championship, of course. Jamie Dory had quite a bit of a gap going into this one. It's going to close up a little bit. Are we going to be running around this circuit?
With me 2 seconds, please, everybody. It is just taking a little bit of extra time. Daytona. Rallycross dirt road, rallycross long. 16.
We can do it.
Yeah, we can do it.
Excellent. So
Let's
we will do
dirt cars.
the dirt cars, which we might have to spin again because I don't know if I've taken off all the cars that we need to on this one. But we shall spin and find out what we are going to be taking around the Daytona Rallycross circuit, or the Daytona dirt road. Let's find out. It could be the dirt mini shots, the dirt micro sprint. Oh my word. Is this a combination that will work? The dirt micro sprint cars around Daytona long dirt road. Let's find out if this is the combination. No?
Yeah.
Excellent! Daytona dirt road in the dirt micro sprint cars for the final race of the day. This is going to be a fun one. We will be back around in about 5 minutes time here then on the stream, so make sure you don't go anywhere. And if you haven't done so already, hit that follow button so that you are notified when we go live for the final round, round number 5, in 2 weeks' time. We'll be back in just a moment's time. and we prepare ourselves for qualifying here for the third and final race of the day. What lucky people we are that we get to see 3 races today. Of course, we're around Daytona Road Course, the dirt road course, in the micro sprint machines. Cars that usually take on an oval dirt track, they instead are taking on this mixed surface rallycross circuit, and they are having to do it with what is a car that is going to be finding it very, very tricky to find their way around here. We ride on board with John Barry at the end of practice here, but we will ride on board in a qualifying lap so that we can see what this session is going to really look like for our drivers. 14 cars heading out there for this final race of the day. And like I say, we are going to have a little bit of a look here to see what it is going to be like around a lap of the session. In fact, that was qualifying. That was qualifying, guys. Well done. Qualifying is done. It was 5 seconds long. Right then, let's find out what our grid is like. I don't know what just happened. Let's get our grid here. For the first race of the day, it's William Guthrie ahead of Jack Pittas, ahead of Adam Wilson-Weir, Harry Gaylor, Jamie Dory and Ben Oucher. We'll then see Michael Lee ahead of Jonathan Berry, Joshua Downing, Ruben Goodchild, Lewis Mason and Jaden Fung. It'll be Lillian Sinclair and Dakota Martin at the rear of this one. Right then, they are going to get themselves ready for what is going to be 10 laps of racing action here around Daytona in these micro sprint machines. I think that this is going to be probably the trickiest challenge that some of our drivers have experienced, well, that our drivers have experienced this season. It is the wackiest combination that we've come across. Because yes, the last track was a tricky track. Yes, the trucks were difficult to drive. But this combination is a challenging one indeed. We prepare to go racing then. Remember, we do have that jump as well around here. The drive's going to be taken. And on the road, I don't believe it's the dirt road. It's not the rallycross. Do we have the Joker lap? That's a good question. Right, 10 laps will be up on the board for this one. And we are green and we are away. Some drivers getting a good launch and already carnage. 4, 5 cars involved and facing the wrong way. Yes, we do have the Joker lap in this one. The drivers are going to need to take at some point during this race. We come up now towards the timing line as we go over the hill, and a spin from our drivers there as they go over that jump. Not one that is really these cars should be making it, but Ben Oucher is on the hunt to take a race victory after missing out last time out. Can Oucher take the win here? We come up through the end of the course. Look at that, some of those tighter lines working out really well indeed, actually, for John Berry, who goes the tightest line of them all and moves up into 6th position there. Joshua Downing has got a black flag, cannot serve that, of course. As we see Adam Wilson-Weir try to take the Joker there, hitting the wall in doing so, does not move up the order in this one. A big old jump there from Oucher. Finds himself facing the wrong way, but he does a complete spin there and makes his way through. As we see who's competing the Joker laps there. A lot of drivers have been penalised in this one. I'm not sure why we're seeing so many drivers penalised, but it looks like they are being cleared as Dory loses his black flag. So I think that all the penalties may be cleared over the course of this race, potentially. But Oucher leading the way right now, yet to take the Joker lap. The Joker lap is saving you time, of course, as this is the midfield at the moment as the drivers of Pittas chase down Lee, Sinclair, Downing. Are we going to see more drivers down into the Joker? No, there's contact, and off the circuit we see Lewis Mason there across through the final chicane in the dirt section over the hill. We're seeing a lot of cars go around, including Ben Oucher. Finds himself spinning more cars around there in the background as well. Those black flags slowly getting cleared for our drivers. Here's who is flipping up and over. It's Adam Wilson-Weir. What has happened to Adam here? Has he hit the inside such a curb? He has. And Wilson-Weir just goes up and over there. He is still there, waiting for somebody to give him a knock. Oh, it looked like he was about to get a knock there as he towed back to pit lane. Out at the front here, the top 5 in this race are yet to take the Joker lap. Ben Oucher chasing down Ruben Goodchild, getting past John Berry as well. Sorry, Berry 2.5 seconds ahead there. So we're seeing what can happen as that's the 44 of Goodchild off. Oucher somehow saves it over the jump. That time around will hold on to 4th position. Fight here for 2nd between Jack Pittas and John Berry. Harry Gaylor looking for his first ever win at the front of the field without a Joker lap is exactly where you want to be, because the Joker lap saves you time, so you want to be up ahead of that. William Guthrie falls down to 10th position here. Fung and Dory are side by side. Dory takes that wider outside line there, taps the outside barrier, but keeps on going in this one. Jamie Dory in 8th position right now, running ahead of Jaden Fung. As we come up towards the end of the lap is what is going to do. Jamie Dory's obviously got his Joker lap completed already. Lewis Mason here trying to get past Guthrie. Neither of these have taken their Joker. Guthrie goes slightly wider there as Mason goes towards the inside line. Over the sausage curb, a hard hit for Lewis Mason into the air. And we'll keep it facing the right way on landing there. Harry Gaylor at the front of this field. 4 seconds clear right now. Pittas running around in 2nd, and it is John Berry in 3rd position. This is the midfield fight at the moment. That is ongoing. Hard onto the brakes though. Someone wasn't hard onto the brakes. William Guthrie ran over there by Lewis Mason, who completely missed his braking points. Jumps on top of Guthrie. As Ben Oucher makes his, I believe he made his Joker lap. He certainly did, but he's then got around at the end of the jump as well. Oucher continues to fall in this one. Harry Gaylor has opportunities here at the very front of this one to take his first victory. It looks like it's going to go his way as long as he keeps it all clean. With such a big gap as well, all he needs to do is not push it. Fung is off at the jump there. We watch Goodchild coming through in 5th position right now. Jamie Dory right behind Ben Oucher, looking for 7th position. Both these drivers have done their Joker lap, so they are racing it out purely on track right now. Dory gets the inside of Oucher. There's enough room between them. They give each other more than enough room, in fact, as they come through the start of the road course on the Daytona circuit. And then avoid the cutoff where the Joker is, as Oucher goes for a wide turn in there. The drift not quite working out for him, and he finds his way over to the road section. Of course, it looks like he may have some issues on his car there, maybe getting his tyres all mixed up and a bit too hot. As Ruben Goodchild looks to try and get the exit on John Berry. He gets a good amount of speed in the 44 machine. Can he get past John Berry here as they chase down? It is the 28 of Jack Pittas just behind as well. As that's a spin there from Goodchild. Pittas just avoids. Michael Lees sits just ahead of Jonathan Berry, well, I say just ahead, 6 seconds ahead. He has taken his Joker as Jack Pittas gets a really slow run there through the final corner, trying to get this thing back up and started again. Seems to be a real struggle for our drivers as Joshua Downing gets past John Berry there, who is still struggling to get his car back up to race pace. As Jack Pittas moves through into 4th position. Berry could do something here as Pittas slides to rear end. Keep it off that sausage curb, he just about does. And John Berry up to 4th position now as he moves past Jack Pittas. He's sitting half a second behind. Harry Gaylor still needs to complete his Joker lap. I'm sure he'll do that on the final lap of Asking, as Joshua Downing is running around right now in 3rd position still. Also without a Joker lap, as Jack Pittas is looking very slow. It looks like he's had a bit of an issue, which has allowed Jamie Dory to make his way through. And this is how he made that overtake. Pittas just a rear end, kicking out both directions. No, there, it was a spin from Pittas ahead. Dory got past Goodchild, and then, whoa! Jamie Dory threw his car into the air for that overtake. Somehow kept it on all 4 wheels at the end of that one. But the white flag is out, and Harry Gaylor just needs to keep it together. Throws it into the barrier there, as Ben Oucher out here. It's a real shame for him after having potential to take his first spin earlier on. Harry Gaylor just seeing the carnage around. Just wants to stick out of it here. Has 11 seconds back to Michael Lease, and has a Joker that he can still do here. Pittas once again with issues there, falls a lap off the lead. Half your field is a lap off the lead here. Harry Gaylor is going to take the cut through. No, he's not. He's going to miss the cut through. Because he would have been... Why did he miss the cut through? He would have been penalised, yes, but he could have got that penalty taken away before the official race would come off. Harry Gaylor's going to be penalised, surely, for not taking the Joker. Joshua Downing doesn't take the Joker either. But they're not being penalised. I think they're getting penalised for taking the Joker. As drivers come across the line, it's absolute carnage in the midfield here. I think we're okay with drivers that haven't taken the Joker. I don't think they're going to get penalised here. Joshua Downing will come home in second ahead of Michael Lease in the end, as Lillian Sinclair looking for 7th here. That's the 13 of Jamie Dory to the inside, and Sinclair finds himself backwards there off the circuit. But Jamie Dory finds himself off the track. Will be looking to try and take home 4th position and get it across the line before Jonathan Berry, who comes around the final corner facing all sorts of directions. But that was the 3rd and final race of the day. Berry still trying to get to the line here. This car just does not get started on the tarmac, does it? Jonathan Berry will just about crawl across the line there to take home 5th position. And that is the final race of the day here. Let's see if we can get our race results up for you for the final race of the day. Harry Gaylor takes his first win of the season in this absolutely wacky combination. Joshua Downing comes home in second behind ahead of Michael Lease. Jamie Dory comes home the final man on the lead lap of this race. Jonathan Berry came home in 5th ahead of Jack Pittas and Lillian Sinclair, all a lap down. Ruben Goodchild, Fung and Wilson Weir the top 10 in this one. 2 laps down. 3 laps down was William Guthrie and Lewis Mason. 4 laps down was Ben Oucher and Dakota Martin. 5 laps down in the end. What a way to kick off the entrance to our final round of the season in 2 weeks' time. Let's have a look then how our championship standings look out of this one. And Jamie Dory increases the gap once more to Jack Pittas. That gap now sitting at 14 points ahead of the final round of Asking in our unofficial standings. Jack Pittas in second with 112 points then. Jonathan Berry sits in third right now with 88 points to his name ahead of William Guthrie. Wilson Weir and Goodchild are tied on 64 points apiece. And Michael Lease sits with 60 points to his name. Ben Oucher and Joshua Downing have 58 points to their name in 8th and 9th position. And Jaden Fung finds his way all the way up in 10th position after a great evening of racing for him. 54 points on the board. Then we have 11th position Lillian Sinclair. First weekend of asking and already just outside of the top 10 in the championship. 34 points for him. Charlie Jobson-Wood in 12th. That is George Stone and Harry Gaylor, who managed to take a huge amount of points in the win in that one. Alexander Lars took home is in 15th, ahead of Sammy Ariba. Lewis Mason in 17th, ahead of Andre Wedderburn. Andrew Allen and Michael Evangeli in 20th. We then look back to Henry Martell, Robert Savage and Mark Sykes, the last of your drivers, with points on the board. Of course, lots of drivers still missing out points in this season, and hopefully we'll see them come back for the final round of competition in 2 weeks' time. And as I remind you of that, of course, we are going to have one more round in it. In 2 weeks' time, we head out for the 5th and final round of the season on March 15th. This season has absolutely flown by. We have had such wacky combinations, and as we were talking, myself and Jonathan Barry were talking to each other between the sessions, between the second and third race of the evening, and talking about how much we've learned from season number 1, how much we're looking forward to season number 2. Of course, we've still got to get season 1 done and dusted. We will do that in 2 weeks' time for our next super weekend here on Joseph Wright Broadcasting as well. 6 broadcasts over the course of 3 days. So if you're not already doing so, make sure you hit the follow button here on Joseph Wright TV on the Twitch page. And also to make sure you get rid of those pesky ads that keep on popping up every now and again. I try my best to limit the amount that we do, but unfortunately we do have to run ads on the channel because of Twitch, the way that it works. If you want to get rid of those and you want to support us, then hit that subscribe button here as well. If you want to get rid of those and you don't really care about supporting me, you just want to get rid of the ads, then get Twitch Turbo. It's the best way of doing it. You don't have ads on any channel. So I'd recommend you go and do that. It's better cost for you running, but if you do want to support us, then do subscribe with our channel. Of course, you can use your Prime sub as well. And now get rid of those ads and you won't miss a minute of racing action. We will be back in 2 weeks' time then for the next of our Type 2 Roulette Leagues. Here on Joseph Wright Broadcasting, though, we've got another week full of racing action coming up for you. We have got the Toyotas heading out on Tuesday. We've got the touring cars on Friday. We have got the next round of the Matt Malone Patron League on Saturday. And, of course, we have got the next rounds of the Lame Sheep Racing's Porsches and Touring Car Championships as well to come next Sunday. So make sure you're hitting that follow button and you join us in the next broadcast. But from here at Joseph Wright Broadcasting and from Type 2 Roulette League, we wish you a great evening. I hope you look forward to your week and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.